McHugh takes a big swing. This one floats towards right. It could go, and it is gone. A 3-run pinch hit homer for the sophomore Kieran McHugh, her 4th of the season, and the Terriers strike first. And there's another one that drops, the 2nd career hit for Casey Ricard. Coming around home is Megan Coyle, sliding to 2nd in time. An RBI double for Casey Ricard. Previously tied a record that she herself matched a year ago. Here's Coyle with some great contact to left field. Will that stay fair? It is gone! Back-to-back homers for the Terriers. A solo bomb to left for Megan Coyle as she continues her electric weekend. 2-2, clips the edge of the zone, called strike 3. The 3rd K of the day for Casey Ricard. 1-2, swing and a miss. Back-to-back punch-outs for Casey Ricard as she puts away the side on strikes. It's 6-0 Terriers as we head to the home half of the 3rd on ESPN+. It's going to be 4, 5, and 6 in the order. LeMay, Ryan, and Megan Miller, as we'll take a quick look at Ashley Waters, the head coach for BU. 405 career victories now, 11 years. Already wrapped up the regular season title in the Patriot League and possibly going for another tournament title as they'll host yet again.
I mean, it's hard to argue BU being the favorite here because you clinched it. You clinched it weeks ago. You're playing on your home field, and they've just looked as dominant as ever with the pitching, with the lineup. Just my question remains the same: is outside of Ricard, who else are you going to rely on that pitching staff?
Well, this is a dress rehearsal of sorts for Ganino. Can she be an option? We know she's a relieving option. Can she start if need be? Not that you would really think about starting other pitchers unless it's an emergency in tournament time. Strike on the first pitch to LeMay, who had the first hit of game 1 of 2 for Merrimack. That one poked towards the dugout for strike 2 on the foul ball. And again, you know, you think back to last year, Joe, and BU, not their greatest season in conference play. They go on the road for the first time in forever in the conference tournament to Army, and they still win. They'll be back at home this year. And their opponent to be determined. Between the bottom 4 teams in the league that claim that 4th spot, we'll know by the end of the weekend who BU's opponent will be. Every other Patriot League team in action today in conference play. This is a non-conference series on the conference bye in Patriot League for BU. 1-2 count now for LeMay.
Yeah, it's kind of a blessing in disguise for BU that this is the non-conference weekend, non-conference bye for them.
Well, they've earned it. They took care of business early. Up high to even it out at 2 apiece.
But the tricky thing that Coach Ashley Waters has to go through is, you know, we've talked about it for weeks now since they clinched. Where do you find your motivation? But she's leaving the regulars in. They're playing like they play every single game.
No question. Really, Ganino, the only player that maybe wouldn't have gotten the start, and even then, it wouldn't hurt to get Ricard rest just a little bit every now and then. But that's the thing, you know, given the way BU, you know, they won big last weekend against Holy Cross, and they won again against UMass in the midweek game. But they didn't run away from the start. They really had to fight for those games. Different so far today, but that's why you want your regulars in there. You want to go in with momentum and with some consistency as well.
No question.
The 2-2 pitch from Ganino. Roped wide of the first baseline, another foul ball.
See, and this is the strength for Merrimack's lineup, is driving up the pitch count, staying in bats, and just fighting off pitch after pitch after pitch, staying in the count.
LeMay is a senior out of Bedford, New Hampshire. Came into this weekend hitting .269. Starting catcher. A lot of changes in the lineup for Merrimack. She's gotten the start in both games for the Warriors. 2-2. Ganino gets a swing and a miss from LeMay. Second punch out of the afternoon for Haley Ganino.
Just a beautiful drop pitch on that one. The curve came in. LeMay was thinking fastball on that one. Could do nothing with it.
Sam Ryan, speaking of striking out, she struck out twice in her 2 at-bats in game 1, looking to change that here with 1 out. Big empty swing there. She was behind that one. Strike 1.
Yeah, Ganino, I mentioned it, pitch mix. You know, her strength are the off-speed pitches, but the way she's able to mix in the velocity.
Holds back that time and hits the edge of the zone. Great start for Ganino here, 0-2.
Yeah, great start of using every part of the zone as well.
Yeah, right down the middle in the first try, and then that time just painting the edge. 0-2 the count. The wind, the pitch, just a tad upstairs. No 3-pitch strikeout here for Ganino. He's retired the first 4 batters she's seen today. No wind, the rain has let up here. That one rolls in the middle of the infield. This will split. Can the throw go in time? No, off the bounce. And Sam Ryan reaches. First hit of the day belongs to Merrimack.
Tricky play on the grounder. It was a slow roller, so it was going to be hard for Depies to make the play. Props to her for getting over there on the backhand, but it was going to be really tough to turn it because it was such a slow roller. Looked like, again, sitting on the off speed, but it was just almost like a seeing eye single there, and Depies really had to hurry things.
Yeah, and it was an awkward grab. She was kind of on the ground, had to throw, couldn't put a lot on it. And here's another one. This one fast roller, but gets by Depies. Back-to-back hits for Merrimack, and they've already matched their total from game 1 here in the second inning.
Well, great job of using the middle part of the field. Another single, that one right up the middle. And as you said, a little bit more hard contact there. And this is for a Merrimack team. We talked about in game 1 how much the lineup has struggled all year. The batting average down near the bottom in the entire nation, but this is how they're going to score their runs, with just slow, fundamental baseball.
That was Megan Miller recording her 16th hit of the season. Now Samantha Sosnovich is up, the junior out of Beacon Falls, Connecticut, with 2 on here, just 1 out. Ganino delivers upstairs, starts this count with a ball. And that's why, to your point, Joe, there were so many changes in the order. 3 new players. Miller, that's Alex Miller, rather, going from 9 to 2. A few other changes. Calkins drops to 8. Trying to find some level of production. We're seeing it now. Swing and a miss, though. Ganino got ahead of her that time for strike 1.
Also on that hit from Megan Miller, great job of jumping on the first pitch. You get a play like that, just a slow roller, you get your first base runner. You see the first one you swing at, you don't let Ganino settle back in.
The 1-1 pitch. Nice off speed from Ganino. She plays that one perfectly. Strike 2. Something interesting about Ganino, Joe, is that she's not really a strikeout pitcher the way Ricard is. She relies a lot on the defense, but she's got 2 early. But now a couple hits, trying to get herself out of a hole. 1-2 offering. Up high to even things again.
Yeah, and that's where the off-speed mix, which is her strength, goes to play, because you get contact on those, you get those weak contact hits. You get those slow roller grounders, pop-ups.
Poked up the first baseline, foul for Sosnovich, hitting .277. This is just the 10th game she's played all season, and she hasn't played since the end of the Manhattan series in April 19th. So we saw some players getting experience in game 1, a few more here in game 2. Ganino with the 2-2. This one dribbling up the middle. Apollo gets over there. Underhand scoop the second. The throw to first is high and late. But BU records the second out. Makes things a little more comfortable with runners in the corner.
Yeah, again, another tricky play because it's a slow roller, but a great transition from Apollo, flipping it with the glove. You make that transfer, that runner is going to be safe at second. Yes, that's a dangerous throw to make. Again, slow roller, it's up the middle, but Apollo heads up play. Risky throw there from Depies. Luckily, it didn't get too far out of the reach of Megan Coyle.
Well, I'll bring up Calkins, who, again, her offensive numbers haven't been the best this year, but defensively she's been great. 0 of 2 with a strikeout in game 1. And you look at that last play, again, Apollo kind of just shoveled past that ball to second. And, again, you consider the rain, the footing, the ball. That was a tough play to make, and it did result in an out.
Well, knock on wood that the rain has stopped, so everything's been relatively dry.
Hope it stays that way. Sun is peeking out behind center field right now. Not a whole lot. Ball and a strike with 2 gone. Calkins, 30 strikeouts this year. Top 10 in the MAC in that category coming in.
But again, this is a situation where you just have to put the ball in play. Again, even a slow roller like we've seen throughout this inning, that will do the trick.
Canino takes her time. Now winds. Foul ball. It feels like Merrimack's had some of their best success when they're able to extend these counts, extend the pitch number for the other side. Sam Ryan stands at third, 60 feet away. Sosnovich is at first for Merrimack. 2 gone in the inning. The 2-2 is low and in the dirt. Bring up a big full count pitch.
Yeah, so again, you get a base hit, you get it in that outfield, you may be looking at 2 runs to get the extra base hit, but you're definitely going to get 1.
BU trying to escape the inning unscathed. Have not trailed often at home this year. The payoff from Ganino. Foul ball. But you can see the aggressiveness trying to get her bat on anything remotely swingable.
Well, you got the chess game as well. You have Calkins trying to figure out what is she going to throw me. Is she going to throw the off speed, which is her go-to, or is she going to go velocity on the fastball? So far, it's been a lot of off speed.
Yeah, we've had a lot of switching of the balls here with the conditions and get some new ones for Ganino. Calkins, again, one of 2 players that came over with Jill Gagnon from St. Anselm, and with very little turnaround time at that. Both her and Sam Ryan are made their way into the order here. Payoff pitch, up high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded here in the second.
So you tried to go with the rise ball on that one. But again, too much in the top of the zone. That goes back to the conditions like you were saying. Ganino now wiping her hand, trying to get it nice and dry. That one maybe stuck to her hand a little bit too late.
Well, that brings up the 9-hitter, Kylie Coleman, who's making her 13th appearance and 10th start, sophomore to Methuen, who is 1 of 23 this year. Ganino needs to avoid the walk, and Ashley Waters has seen enough. She'll go out there to talk to her pitcher.
Yeah, she's just having a hard time locating right now with that fastball. And when you fall behind in the count, you can't really trust your off speed as much when you're in this kind of danger. The base is loaded. So you have to go to your fastball and your velocity. She hasn't been able to hit the zone on it.
Meanwhile, you see Jill Gagnon, the head coach for Merrimack in year 1. Again, took over in late November, had maybe a few weeks of practice before the seasons began. She took over in a hurry, but again, the continuity from her former head coach and the previous head coach retiring, Elaine Schwager, plus a very consistent lineup, adding a couple of her players to instill culture from St. Anselm has made the transition easier. And again, Kylie Coleman, 1 of 23. Her last hit came on March 1st against Cornell and was a double.
Well, there'd be no better time to break that streak than right now.
Ganino ready after the meeting in the circle. First pitch hits the edge of the zone. Good start here, 1-1.
Again, the job is simple. Get the ball in play.
Rain letting up, not a lot of wind. The 1-1 pitch. Contact up high, fouled behind.
And that one felt like, again, another one of those fastballs that was high in the zone.
Two gone in the inning, bases loaded for Merrimack. The 1-2 pitch off the edge of the bats. Just barely keeps this one alive.
Great job by Coleman there late. More velocity, just able to get a piece of it. Again, that is the lineup strength for Merrimack, is keeping the count going, maintaining a long at-bat.
Merrimack's been stretching Ganino's pitch count these last few at-bats. The delivery on the outside edge, called strike 3, and Ganino and BU get out of the jam with the bases loaded. It's still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second on ESPN+.